Steph Curry has a new show called About Last Night. We can count on him to put on a show tonight on Center Court. Michael Jordan was the only Bulls player to ever score 35 or more in 5 straight games. Notice I said was. This past weekend, DeMar DeRozan joined MJ. Can he keep that scoring streak alive against his former team? In the past day, Giannis has been compared to Tim Duncan on NBA.com and has been called the new LeBron by Kenyon Martin. Can the 2-time MVP and reigning Finals MVP win another chip and Most Valuable Player award? Time to get your mind right and money right with us.
Always be ready, be prepared to make your moves on the rise up with a full heart, and I'ma take what's mine.
4 double-digit spreads in 9 games tonight. The odds makers are banking on some blowouts, but not the Center Court game, though. And it's a doubleheader on NBA TV. Welcome to NBA Bet, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm your host, Chris Miles. Also, happy Valentine's Day to you. Let's meet the crew you love to love. There's Tim Doyle, Chris Raybon, and Vinny Goodwill. And Doyle, you weren't first on my list of people we got to talk to, but I see you with the casino jacket looking like Robert De Niro right now, my friend. I guess you're festive for Valentine's Day.
It's the one jacket in my closet, Chris, that you only get a certain number of days you can wear this jacket for. Valentine's Day is one of them. The Kentucky Derby Day is another one of those games. And when I look at this slate tonight, Vince, Raybon, and Miles, I got some games I absolutely love, my friend. Let's get to work.
Well, let's get to work first with you, Vinny. We love to see Klay Thompson shoot some Cupid arrows right at the Los Angeles Lakers. That was pretty impressive to see Klay get back to being Klay this weekend. What else did you love?
I mean, just let's start with Klay. You know, a bunch of people were talking, but nobody was just doing anything besides moving their lips. It's almost like we forgot about Klay. The last 4 games, averaging almost 24 a night. We saw what he did in the 4th quarter against the Lakers. Almost like they didn't realize that he was coming back to Klay Thompson form. Now, if he's that guy, Golden State has a real chance in the Western Conference because you can't just load up on Stephen Curry. And speaking of people we can't forget about, can we talk about the real love that we got for Nikola Jokic, a player that leads his team in every major statistical category, and he's not even number 1 for MVP. And he's even playing defense. Did you guys see that late block that he had the other night to seal the win for the Denver Nuggets, along with, you know, Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back practicing, being closer to coming back for the stretch run of the playoffs? And finally, the kid from Compton, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine being out, you know, Lonzo Ball being out, Alex Caruso being out. DeMar DeRozan says, you know what, that's cool. I will drop 30 points in 5 straight games, like you said, elevating himself into the MVP conversation, keeping the Bulls afloat. And yes, DeMar will be playing on NBA TV tonight, so nothing but a D thing.
Okay, so that's 4 Super Bowl halftime references in the first 2 minutes of the show, courtesy of Vinny Goodwill. I guess we're in the club, not just on TV. Speaking of being in the club, how about Klay Thompson? Center Court, BetStream. I mean, this guy, Warriors-Clippers, that's the game tonight. He dropped 33 points, his most since his return. Doyle, 16 in the 4th quarter to beat the Lakers. That was incredible. What are you thinking about Klay and company tonight against the Clippers?
Yeah, it sounds like you're about to lose yourself in your excitement with Klay Thompson. But yeah, he's been balling. They played twice already this year, 2 Warriors wins. I have a hard time getting excited about the Los Angeles Clippers. And I know that the Nets kind of catch a lot of heat for, they haven't gotten over the hump. But Steve Ballmer was clapping. There was an excitement about the Clippers that is no longer there. So I have more than 21 questions about this team right now and how they're going to go out there and score the basketball. They're below 500. What are they really playing for? So I'm going to go out there and lay the points in this game with the Warriors.
Okay, so that is up to 7 Super Bowl halftime show of references here in the first 3 minutes of the show. Raybon, you're on the clock. 11 losses in a row by the Brooklyn Nets. No Kyrie Irving tonight, and and they're facing the Sacramento Kings. So is this the game that the 11-game losing streak comes to an end?
I think so, Chris. I think the Nets are going to be all right. I mean, you look at this 11-game losing streak. Hey, I had to do that. They're still in eighth. They're still in eighth place. I mean, that says a lot. But more importantly, I just don't know about this Kings team. Trading Halliburton, and they've actually won some games since they did that. But I don't like the move for them. I think the karmic gods are going to start to catch up for them. Brooklyn, they're not going to keep losing forever, right? So at some point, they're going to break it. Well, 8 of their 11 games in this losing streak, they've been on the road. They're home tonight. The Kings are coming across the country here. I don't got no California love for Sacramento. Give me the Nets as the home dog.
The references continue. How about the reigning champs, the Milwaukee Bucks? Man, their last 3 wins, they scored 130 or more. That includes one of those games against the Portland Trail Blazers, who they face tonight. So, Doyle, are you going to hit the overs with these Bucks?
I am, but I'm going to get really specific here, okay? I think the Bucks are going to go out there and put up a ton of points. Now, Giannis is a game-time decision. Obviously, you want him on the floor, but if he doesn't go, I'm still not worried. Last time Milwaukee played Portland was in the month of February. It was only about a week ago. Chris, they scored 137 points. Oh, by the way, they scored 137 against the Clippers, too, and 131 against the Lakers. Overs have been coming in at an alarming rate. 6 of the last 7 games Milwaukee has played, the over has been the number. Now, this line was 15.5. It's down to 11.5 of that Giannis news. So for people out there that aren't familiar with gambling, they think Giannis is worth only 4 points. Miles, does that surprise you?
It does, because we try to keep it a buck like under the Compo. That wasn't part of the halftime show, but it's still a great reference by Drake this past year. So James Harden, Ben Simmons trade has made an impact on the title odds. Vinny, when I look at it, the order now, Bucks, Nets, Sixers favor the Nat order. Is that the right order in the East going forward? Warriors, Suns, also in the mix as far as title odds out West. They've changed since the Ben Simmons, James Harden deal has gone through, and it's the 76ers making the biggest jump.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, the 76ers go from having a guy making a lot of money who doesn't play to having a guy making a lot of money who does play, even if James Harden is a diminished form of himself. I still put Milwaukee above Brooklyn and Philadelphia, and I also put a team that's not up there, the Miami Heat. We keep sleeping on them. They keep putting things together. Who's coaching the All-Star team this weekend? Eric Spoelstra. That means you have the best record in your conference, and we have yet to see Philadelphia or Brooklyn, as currently constituted, go through a playoff run. I don't know if that's something that I can trust, at least not over the champion Bucks and the Heat team that I know that I trust.
Yeah, Heat plus 550 right now, even though they're in first place. Raybon, what you think about that?
I do like the Heat. I like that call, but I'm going to look at the West a little bit, because I think the team is the Phoenix Suns. That's the team we need to be betting on. Last year, Milwaukee got it done. But remember, Phoenix got up 2-0. Milwaukee was a little more battle-tested, going into that postseason run. Now Phoenix has kind of been there. They've gotten to the brink. They got up 2-0. But more importantly, when I look across the league right now, one of the metrics that I really like to look at is point differential, and specifically schedule-adjusted point differential. That is going to be more predictive of your future performance than straight up, win-loss record or anything like that. Phoenix Suns lead the NBA with a schedule-adjusted point differential above 8. So give me Phoenix at plus 460 for the NBA title.
Doyle, same to you about the 76ers, though, having the biggest jump as far as title odds are concerned with bringing James Harden in.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember when James Harden was a little beefy? Maybe he was wearing a little bit of a fat suit down there in Houston. And then he got on a flight, and all of a sudden, he was balling last year for the Nets. There actually was a point last year where he started to get in the MVP conversation. And if you watch the Nets like I do on a nightly basis, it wasn't that long ago. James went out west without Kevin Durant, and he balled out. One game stood out to me against the Clippers where he had almost 40 and 20 assists. Like, he has this ability that he showed when he went from Houston to Brooklyn to flip that switch. And I know he's been really close to winning titles before. I'm sorry, guys. I'm jumping all in. I love the 76ers. Embiid's playing at a high level. Embiid's playing. You can't make the club in the tub. So if Joel stays on the floor with Harden, the 76ers, they got my heart.
I feel you. On Valentine's Day, the 76ers, the team that now has your heart. CJ McCollum bringing his A game down to the Pelicans. What other new faces and new places make this show next?